Hi everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC chess collection review, looking at number 23, Batwing, aka David Zavimba. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, I'm not entirely sure. Apologies first of all that I haven't been able to get a review of the chess collection up. I think it's been about 3 weeks since the Red Hood one. Work's just been quite busy lately, and also I'm just at the back end of fighting off quite a bad flu virus that I picked up. So I haven't been feeling particularly well of late. But yeah, it's just been one of those things where I looked this morning on YouTube at my videos and realised that Red Hood was 3 weeks ago, and I thought, wow, I really need to get another one up there. And this was one that I was kind of looking forward to doing. And so it gave me kind of like the spur this morning to think, right, okay, I'm going to get one done. So, yeah, David Zavimba. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. I don't know a great deal about this guy. Even after reading this comic, it's one of those guys where when I heard about him I thought, I have no idea who that is. Who is Batwing? I always thought Batwing was the plane that Batman flew around in, you know, that's what Batwing was to me. So having read it, this character is basically one of the new ones to come out from the new DC 52 line. The complete reinvention of the whole of DC, which obviously, as I've said countless times, is something I have not read. I haven't read anything to do with the new 52, I haven't read about any of the characters, which is why I didn't know about this guy. But yeah, David Zavimba is basically from Africa, and through one thing after another, he basically becomes Batwing. He first of all becomes a vigilante. And first of all, becomes a vigilante, and then Bruce Wayne, Batman, is so impressed with what he does that he finds him out and says, will you be my African representative? Will you be the Batman Incorporated presence in Africa? And so David Zavimba takes up the mantle of the Batwing. A rather interesting sort of story, a rather interesting personality by the look of it, and I do really like the design of his costume, so I was interested in the piece itself. It was one of those ones where I knew nothing about him when I first got it, and then after reading it thought, he's actually quite interesting. So yeah, there was always that, but that's pretty much all I know. There's a lot more to him, there's a lot more to his background. He's a lot like Bruce Wayne. They just had a very troubled and very violent and very difficult past, and I think that's probably why Batman relates to him so well. But I honestly don't remember any of it. I've read this, and I've kind of flicked through it now just before I did the review. But even still, it's just there's so much information there for a character that I've never heard of that I can't remember it all. So I'm not going to try and repeat it back because I'll probably get it wrong. So anyway, that's the Batwing character. We'll move on to the figure and see what it's like. And here we have the Batwing figure itself. And this is one where I'm actually extremely impressed with this. I really do like this one quite a lot. And there's a lot of different reasons why. I think sculpt on it is extremely good. The paintwork on it is very good. And there's a few little details of the paint where I just think it's a really nice touch, and they've done a very good job of representing what Batwing actually looks like. And as always, we'll go on the face first. And having trouble focusing, but there we go. And I will go straight in to say I do really like the paint job that they've used on the Batman symbol here, and also his eyes. From what I've read in the comic and so on, this is the Batman symbol and his eyes kind of glow with like a blue light. And obviously it's something that you'd find difficult to do in a paint job, but I think this is a really nice touch. You've got kind of like the white with a very faint blue outline, which almost gives it the impression that it's glowing. It's a really nice touch. I do like what they've done with that. Same with his eyes. It's very blue, but you can just see the hint, very white, sorry, but you can see the hint of blue in there as well, just to make it look like it's shining. Very nice. We go through onto his almost Thor Asgard kind of bat ear points. I don't know what these are actually supposed to be, but yeah, these are really, really nice as well. The face sculpt as well, I was very impressed with. It's a very, very nice face sculpt. I love his mouth here. Looks very serious and sinister and kind of quite threatening. It's very, very nice. So onto the back, we obviously just have the back of his head there. The sculpting on his suit as well is extremely good. You've got all of these different panellings, this bit here for his shoulder, all the way down. It's not like they've just sculpted it all and then painted in so on. These are actually extra bits that have been put onto there, which is extremely impressive. His the stomach area here, where with all the armor plating, that's extremely nicely detailed with all of the plating there. I love how he stood with his hands on his hips. He's like a very heroic sort of Superman pose, which is very cool. Down onto the legs, and we have even more detail in there on his knees, and just a very nice silver metallic paint job all the way throughout, which is very, very nice. On his shoes, we have these bits of line detail in there, which have been highlighted with black. Yeah, very, very nicely done. The base is, again, one of the good ones. We finally get another good Batman base. So we seem to be kind of catching up on the good ones as opposed to the bad ones. And on the back we have his wings, and I do like how they're folded inward, almost as if they could be unfurled so that he can fly off. Just very, very nice detail, and really beautifully sculpted all the way throughout. And it's one of those pieces yet again where it looks like they've missed a bit of silver paint on his butt cheek there. That's a bit of a shame. But well, that's something you're never going to really, and again there, that's something you're never really going to notice until you get a camera like this and go straight up close and really seriously who's going to be looking. But yeah, as I was saying, this is again one of those pieces where, although it's a really nicely done, very nicely sculpted, I mean this bit round here on his neck, and it's fantastically done, but again, just not a lot going for it. It's all silver with a touch of the blue there, obviously the brown for his face and the blue for his eyes, and that's it. That's all it's got for it. And all of the detailing and the sculpting and the paint work is very, very nicely done. It's that's pretty much all you can say about it. It's a very, very nice piece based on a new 52 line design, and very, very nicely done. And yeah, it represents the character extremely well and does look extremely good on the board. So overall, this is a piece where I didn't have any problems with it. Possibly because I don't have any major ties to the character. I don't care for the character any great deal more than any of the others, so it wouldn't have bothered me if there was a couple of problems, because I probably wouldn't have noticed them, to be honest. But overall, for me, this is a very, very nicely done piece, and it's nice to see a new 52 character in the lineup. You know, that's it's not just all of the old ones. They are actually pulling from the new 52 as well. And from what I've read, taking a character that is very interesting and could very well be very popular right now. I honestly don't know, but he might be quite popular right now. So yeah, I do really like this piece. I think they've done a very good job with it. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the review, everyone. Take care. I shall see you hopefully sooner than last time for the next review, but until then, take care. See you soon.